A lot of people think Deion Sanders is selling wolf tickets leading into his second year as head coach for the Colorado Buffaloes, coming off of a dismal 4-8 season his first year as head coach. But his athletic director, Rick George, has come to his defense and saying there's a big misconception about Deion Sanders. But before we get off in today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, you know, guys, we got to talk about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, it seems to be that a lot of media personnel think that Deion Sanders is selling wolf tickets leading into his second year as the head coach for the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, you know how last year turned out. Started out well, started out 3-0, beat the likes of TCU in that first game, had a lot to say. You know, at the post-game press conference, at halftime leading, you know, into the locker room, they stopped and had a chat with Deion. Deion was talking about Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, you know, already in Heisman contention. Just go ahead and send that Heisman to Travis Hunter after he had a stellar first half in that TCU game. A lot of people, you know, was coming at Deion for his brash ways, his post-game press conferences, talking about he's keeping receipts. Now, you know how Jason Whitlock was on Deion Sanders all last year, talking about Deion Sanders was running a clown show, running a circus, teaching all his players, you know, the wrong way about life, telling them, you know, preaching to tell them to go be rappers and stuff like that, because he had a lot of celebrities and rappers in the locker room, had a lot of people at Folsom Field. It was almost like it was a big party. You know, we saw the likes of Lil Wayne. We saw everybody that was in the locker room. We saw the celebrities on the sideline. It was a national spectacle. And Deion Sanders brought a lot of attention to Colorado. And you know what he did for that, you know, the state of Colorado and where he played at in Folsom Field. All the revenue that he brought in to these businesses on all the sold out home games that Colorado had. Now, we know they started off hot, but they ended on a dismal 4-8. And, you know, people was coming at Deion saying he was selling wolf tickets. Now, he's been criticized a lot. But on the offseason, what he has did, he has retooled in the NCAA, you know, transfer portal. Guys jumped in, guys jumped out. He brought in big offensive linemen, like I've always said, the big fish in Jordan Seaton. The defense has upgraded, got a new defensive coordinator. You got the offensive coordinator in place. You got Warren Sapp on board, Phil Ledhold. Now, that coaching staff is elite. Now, Deion Sanders is the head of it. Now, a lot of people think that, you know, Deion's brash ways got in, you know, a way of a lot of things that they tried to accomplish last year, because they made it seem like Deion made it all about Deion and it wasn't about the kids. Now you had some surprise guys that, you know, left. You see what happened with Dylan Edwards. He left. And you see what happened to Cormani McClain on and off. Now he finally jumped in the transfer portal. He signed on with Florida, but he's still having issues down in Florida where people saying that this is Cormani McClain's last chance because of the things that he's displaying down there. The same thing he displayed here in in Colorado with the Colorado Buffaloes. He wasn't disciplined, showing up late to meetings. His work ethic was just terrible. But some of the videos that Cormani McClain put out made people believe that, you know, he was ready to, you know, take that next step. But we see he jumped in that transfer portal, had a lot of things to say about Deion and the opportunity. And he's doing the same things down there in Florida. Now, Colorado's athletic director, Rick George, he spikes that Deion Sanders misconception. So there was an article that, you know, that was in Sports Illustrated, and this is what it had to say. Colorado's Deion Sanders is one of college football's coaching lightning rods. Entering his second season, Colorado is projected win totals to sit at 5.5, and there are plenty of doubters once again, despite the Buffaloes returning two of the nation's top players in Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter. Colorado Athletic Director Rick George defended his most polarizing employee recently and doesn't understand the vitriol that often surrounds his coaching style. I think there's a misconception about Coach Sanders, George said in an interview with Buff Stampede. If you know Coach Prime, he's an incredible individual. He's driven. He knows what it takes to be successful. He's hired a great staff. National media pundits direct negativity barbs at Sanders and his program this offseason, largely due to last season's failures and Colorado's unconventional transfer portal philosophy. We're not going to make everyone happy, and that's not our goal, George said. Our goal is to focus on what we have in front of us, tune out all the noise that's out there, and make this program really great. I think Coach Prime's doing a great job at doing that. I think this is going to be a big step in the direction this year. Let the naysayers say what they want to say. We're not listening to it. We're just focused on what's ahead. The biggest need at Colorado was retooling its offensive line, and only two players from last season are back. New offensive line coach Phil Ledholt can take solace in the fact that there's nowhere to go but up from this unit in front of the addition of the five-star 2024 signee Jordan Seaton is major. He's a day one starter at one of the tackle spots and a big supreme talent to the outside in protection of Sanders. In the backfield, four players who were expected to return, including potential star Dylan Edward and Alton McCaskill, are now entering the season. The replacements are Colorado's impressive transfer class includes Dalen Hayden and Isaiah Augustus. Hayden is a former Ohio State backup, while Augustus has spent his career at Arkansas. Sanders says Colorado's heavy roster changes are no big deal, and that many of the players who left the program were not going to be relied upon as go-to threats. Deion Sanders believes Colorado is everybody's Super Bowl, and the Buffaloes are taking the mentality into the season, prepping for every opposing team's best shot. So what happened is the athletic director, Rick George, came to Deion Sanders' defense. Now, you know, you got the guys out there like Paul Feinbein, Jason Whitlock. They think Deion Sanders is running a clown show. But Deion Sanders is a formidable head coach, man, and he makes a lot of noise. He made a big splash when he came to Colorado, and all the attention and all the eyes was on Colorado Buffaloes in Folsom Field. Every game was must-see TV. They had major viewership. So that's the Deion Sanders effect. But a lot of people think that Deion Sanders is selling wolf tickets. But I think this year with the retooled offensive line and what they got on the defensive backfield, you still got, Shiloh Sanders, the head buster. Also, you still got, Travis Hunter, the two-way star. Now, offensively, we're going to see what Travis Hunter is going to do offense, how they're going to, offset him on offense and defense. A lot of people don't think that he should be playing offense and defense on every possession. Give him a rest, give him a break. But, started the season last year, 2-3 games in, he got injured. And, he had to set out 3 games, and that kind of hurt Colorado. The steam went out. But this year, I think Deion's is going to make amends, and Colorado is going to do something special this year. A lot of people don't think that, they're going to win more than 5 games. I got them projected to win around 8 or 9 games. I think they're going to put themselves in bowl contention, and it's going to be exciting. But a lot of people, like I said, they think Deion Sanders is selling wolf tickets. But Deion Sanders is a man, he's a man about, his business. And I think Deion Sanders got this team going in the right direction with the new, coaching staff that he has hired, the new players that are on board. And sometimes you just got to get the trash out the way. You got to get the trash out the way, man, and you build from there. But it's a lot of misconception on Deion Sanders, and, a lot of people think he's in the hot water over that misconception. But his, athletic director, Rick George, has come to his defense. So you guys let me know what y'all think about the Colorado Buffaloes coming up this season, what you think they're going to do, how many victories they're going to have. And we're going to keep a close eye on this, and we're going to talk about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes a lot this college football season. But this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces. And remember, on your way out the door, when you put your shoes on, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.